Hey everyone, we're live again here in Nourish, Heal, and Thrive. I'm so excited. I have Jose here with me today, and Jose is a neuroencoding specialist. And I'm sure you're wondering what that is, and he's going to tell us all about it. But first, Jose, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Derek, for inviting me to your beautiful community. And I gotta say that I feel connected just a little bit. We already talked about it, about your little story, and that sounds amazing. And I'm feeling proud to be here with you right now. Thank
No,
you.
no, the pleasure is mine, and I'm excited to hear your story. So, Jose, why don't you tell us, a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Okay, I'm gonna try to make it as short as I can. So I'm originally from Oaxaca, Mexico, and I immigrated to USA at the age of 15. I ended up living by myself at the age of 16 in a tiny apartment, just a plastic bed, just very simple stuff. I went through a whole mess, my whole, what is it, 17 to 30 years old. Addictions, alcohol, and not going nowhere in my life. I went to jail. I have a little dark story about my life. But to make it short, I'm telling you this because this is what it has brought me to be here where I am right now. Because that's what, at the age of 35, it made me realize that the missing piece in my life, it was not having a purpose. That's the big thing that I figured out about myself. And that's when I started seeing the patterns of many people, not just me. Because most of us, especially me as an immigrant, I came to this country to help my family because my family need help in Mexico. And then my goal was to buy a house, maybe a car, maybe education, but nothing of that satisfies our soul, like something that make us feel, living something, belonging to something. And I was the kind of person that always wanted to be someone, to be something, to do more than just work. So that was kind of part of my struggle in life, like where do I belong? Where do I fit in? So that's why it brought me to my next question, the who am I? Because our identity, it plays the other half part of our purpose. This when I started combining one and the other and start seeing the patterns of my family. Starting from my grandpa, that I remember that they used to be immigrants back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. My father did it, back and forth, back and forth. My families, my relatives, back and forth, back and forth. And many of them that got to stay in America, they are still living in a rut. But I'm not just talking like work and living. I'm talking something even worse that people doesn't realize is that we are taking our patterns to our kids born in here now in this country. So most of the people are living in a struggle all the time. And just because we haven't been able to figure out who we truly are. So that's when brought me to my question, like who I'm actually am. And then when I figured out it has nothing to do with where I was born, my parents, my culture, it has nothing to do with it. This when neuroencoding came into my life. This is the magic of life and start living purpose and aligning yourself with who you truly are. Because what I figured out, what I find out is that when you start in discovering yourself, God, life, whatever you believe in, it's like He's start to sending you the little pieces that you are missing so you can start putting them together. So that's when for me neuroencoding came in and start putting everything together in my mind. Because as we were talking there, the power of our mind. That's the most amazing thing that we have. So I started my journey as a coach, mentor, right after COVID, because I was one of those persons, the COVID transformed lives. Like I used to work in a restaurant for 25 years. And when they closed my business, my restaurant, I was a GM. So I started going to get another job. What am I going to do now? Because I cannot sit still at home. And this when I started getting involved into personal development. This when I started listening to the book, The Monk, The Soul His Red Ferrari. I don't know if you have heard it or read it. There's something that made click in my brain and start made me questioning everything that I was doing. Then they brought me to Mastermind, where they put a little seed in my head that, hey, you can do something else with your story, with your life. Like you don't need to be doing the same thing that everybody's doing it. And it has been a journey of transformation that I did not have any education before this. I did not have any of this self-confidence that you see me right now, right? Like I'm talking in camera like nothing. Before COVID, I couldn't even take pictures of myself. I was embarrassed of myself, like for real life. Like every time I had gone to a club or dance or something, I had to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs or something for me to feel comfortable being around people. So this where everything has bring me to here to becoming neuroencoding and start putting the pieces together of identity, purpose, and mind. Because that's where it comes, right? Mind, spirit, body. Because what we have been trying to do is getting the results just by thinking, reading, maybe doing some affirmations, praying, right? Like we do words, law of attraction. But the missing piece is, and you know this, Derek, is the doing. That's the missing piece. And that's why it doesn't matter which religion we are or what we believe in. If we don't put the action behind the praying, meditation, or anything else that we do, it's going to be almost impossible for us to get the things that we actually want. And I'm not talking about struggle. I'm not talking, like you need to struggle, No, I'm just talking like we need to put the work. But there is also when it comes your purpose. Because to me, like I work 7 days a week now. And I had to force myself to take a day off because I'm doing something that I love, that I like doing, that I enjoy it. So that's why sometimes it's hard for me to take a day off. And if you notice, there are people that are doing those things, this when some kind of extra energy comes out of us. They make us do incredible things. So yes, that's my little story about my journey to be here where I am with you. And I appreciate you for your time. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, that's an amazing story, and I thank you for sharing. I have questions. Um, I almost don't know where to start, but I want to say that I really appreciate you saying how important identity is and knowing who you are and where you're, because a lot of people, especially when they come to me for like health and fitness goals, they don't know who they are, so we don't have a place to start, right? You got to know where to start and then decide a place to where you want to head towards, right? So, and people like, oh, for me anyway, like when clients come to me, they're like, oh, I just want to maintain a healthy weight, or I want to lose weight, but I don't know how many pounds, or I don't know what the ideal is, but we have to know where we start and have an idea of kind of where we might want to end up. I mean, doesn't mean we have to end up there. We probably won't, will be somewhere different, but probably somewhere better. But we have to kind of have an idea of what direction to step in.
Yes, yes. Let me add something to that,
Yeah.
and this is something from neuroencoding. This is like the more specific that we get, the easier to get where you want to be. What you're saying about people losing weight in the body, like they just want to be healthy. And this is what we do, right? We want to be happy. We want to make more money. We just want to feel better, right? We just want a relationship, but the brain doesn't comprehend it.
Mm.
So the brain cannot give you that because he's like, okay, so what do you mean by that? What specific did you mean by that? Now, if you get it, most of us, we know, but we are afraid to say what we want because we are afraid to fail.
Mm.
You were talking about the body. Many of us, we like to have a fit body, looks like X person, but and then we like, I don't think this is for me. I no, I don't think I can become the person.
Mm.
So when you put the self-doubt between what you want and them, it becomes impossible. And it is strategy that I have learned with neuroencoding, and I did it with, I'm doing it right now with, Cristiano Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, yeah,
The soccer player.
yeah, yeah.
So what Joseph, because Joseph, my client on the third, is my mentor, what he teaches us is just get a picture of what you want, put it on your phone, and look at it 10 times, as many times as you can look at it through the day. As a reminder for your mind that this is what you want. So it can be a house, it can be your car. It is a reminder that you're always looking at it, but you have a defined picture of what you want. So that way your mind reminds you the things that you have to do. Obviously, you have to create a plan as you do already, right? Okay, so if you want to get there, this is the plan that we're going to create for you to get there. But and then this is where also comes after you decide specific body, how many pounds you want to weight. Look at the picture. Now with AI, you can cut your head and put it on somebody else's body, right? And just put it over there to make it look yourself. When you have that, and now you're giving guidance to your brain, so your brain is going to start responding to you to take you there. And this is where your identity comes. Do you actually believe that you are the kind of person? Because if you don't believe it, that you are the kind of person, it does not matter. So we need to believe it first. There is me, and it's just that body is hiding under all this extra weight that I have. And it's obviously a process to get there. Now, this is the most important, not the most important, but very big, important piece in all this. And that is also that I learned from neuroencoding. Make sure you celebrate every little step from here to there. Because if we create a plan, right, and we're supposed to be checking up every week, but like many of us do, right? Okay, I'm going to lose 5 pounds this week, and we only lose 2 pounds. Instead of we celebrating, what do?
We
Right?
we forget. We don't do anything.
We do criminal ourselves. We tell us
Oh, yeah.
we are, all those mean words to ourselves because we didn't accomplish the goal. And this is where it is like when we were babies, and this is why I love Joseph, how he explained, because it's the simplest way that people can get this. When we were babies and we start walking or talking, we couldn't even say any correct word as mom or father. We just didn't say to mom, whatever we couldn't say, and our parents, they always celebrate us and clap us for the little tries that we did until we actually walk and talk. It took us months. For some people, maybe years, but they learn to talk and walk. So it's the same thing for us. Setting up goals and putting up dates is just a guide. Sometimes it's not going to come at exactly date. It all just depends on your discipline and your hard work. But you're going to be very close to where you want to be. I hope this helps you.
Yeah. And Jose, why don't you explain a little bit about what neuroencoding is and exactly what you do for clients when they come to you?
So what your encoding is just helping. Okay, just conditioning the mind to do the things that they need to do to get the results that they want to get. In a way that they learn how to celebrate themselves. We all want to be motivated, inspired, but let's understand the inspiration and motivation needs to come from inside. So we teach people how to encode themselves to the best behaviors. So when things comes out, because things are going to come out, they can default right away to the best behavior and do the things that they need to keep doing. That's what it is. When the piece of cake shows up, learning to say, no, thank you. When they need to do the little exercise, the little workout, the walk, whatever they got to do, instead of saying, you know what, tomorrow, it will be for them, you know what, I'm proud of myself for just going for a walk around the block. When I'm outside, you know what, I can make it. That's what neuroencoding is. You just program the brain, just reprogram people's brains from what we don't want to what we want.
Yeah, it's amazing. So when a typical client maybe comes to you, where are they at when they start, and what are they when they're done with you, or how has their life changed?
So when they come, as you mentioned at the beginning, right? Most of us, we don't know what they want. They know they want to do something better. They know they are tired of something, but what we say is like, I just don't want to be fed anymore. I don't want to be broke anymore. I don't want this relationship anymore. So the first thing is to get specific.
Mhm.
What is it what you want? It's the first step. And then let's align first. Before I get you to create your map and get you to start walking to what you want, let's work inside your beliefs. Let's destroy all those limited beliefs. Let's destroy all the old identity that doesn't serve you anymore. Let's create you a new identity that is going to serve you. So if we get to work for 3 months, right? In 3 months, by the end of 3 months, you're going to be feeling great and proud about yourself, willing to take the steps that you want. And we can create in the last month the action plan that you need so you can get the goals that you want. And when you're encoding it's like there is simple exercise that you get to do. You get to spend maybe 10, 15 minutes a day extra on working on your brain. So you can go do the things that you have to do the rest of your day. Because as soon as we get, and that's what I tell people, don't focus too much on the result. Focus on you right now. Focus on be happy right now. Focus on being proud of yourself right now. Because the number one thing, let's talk about weight right now, right? Or almost the number one thing is the stress. Is the one that keeps people overweight and away from things that they want. Because when we are stressed out, we make a lot of wrong decisions. If we understand that by feeling good, right now, getting the results that you want is going to become easier. If I get somebody, and this is what I noticed too. I don't know if you have noticed it, and I have been working out for 20 years. And when the times that I got a trainer, what I didn't like it is like they push us to the limit, right? And what happened for the next 2, 3 days, 5 days, you're in pain, especially when you haven't working out for your whole life or maybe for years or months. And it becomes harder for you to come back and work out because all the stress they put in your body. But they want us to feel like you are working out. And yes, I understand that, right? There is a pain, it's gonna be some pain. But what if you just start little by little? So your own body start adjusting on their own instead of creating pain. And
Yeah.
this is where everything starts to changing your identity. And let's figure out exactly if what you're doing in life, what you're doing in life, where you're working, your relationship, everything is aligned with what you want. Because also, if you're working in a job that is making you miserable, and I'm trying to help you in something over here, but you go into the job, it destroys everything in you. And I'm telling you this because I was a GM for 6 years. And what I realized over there, as you know, many people quit their job because of the bosses, not because they don't like the job. And because of that, all the stress it creates in people, this is what it makes us have these bad habits.
Yeah.
Alcohol, eating disorder, stress, depression. So that's what it brings us to find a way and how can we make ourselves feel good.
Right.
So this is why, when I see people they need help or when they need help, okay, let's figure it out first exactly because maybe what you're trying to fix, maybe it's not the problem. Maybe there is something else that is the problem. And it's just showing up in your weight. It's not just showing up, and not having the money that you want to have because you spend the money on something else to make yourself feel good. Maybe it's not your relationship. Maybe it's that you're so stressed out about what you're doing in your job and you just come home and now you're taking out on your wife. That is something that I used to do it. I'm getting all those things. That's why I can talk about those things.
Sure.
I'm talking about my experience that when I start aligning myself to what I'm doing right now, it's like my wife told me just a couple of weeks ago, like, I'm so proud of you. You're changing so much. But everything it has to do with what I'm doing right now. Aligning myself who truly I am. And this what give us, the energy to take care of our body, to be able to serve more people, to help more people, all those things.
Wow. Wow, Jose, great stuff. Really appreciate you sharing. Is there anything that you haven't shared that maybe you'd like to talk about?
Something that I would like to share. You know, somebody asked me just this question yesterday. What would I say or what would I do my speech if I only have 10 minutes? Right? That I want people to realize or to know. And I think to me is if I get people to become who they were born to become, meaning what you're doing right now, serving others, making this world better. How are we gonna make this world better? I believe it truly comes to help people feel free to be themselves. What I'm trying to say by that is pursue your dreams. Because this is what is actually gonna make your life fulfill.
I love it.
I think this is the biggest piece, and this is what I wanted to say to your audience and the people that are here from my community, if they're here. It is life changing. It truly is life changing when you actually start in your own journey. Now, what your parents teach you or what your parents wanted to do, what your wife or your spouse, your partner want you to do, what your boss is telling you what to do, make sure you align yourself with who you really are. We only get one life, or that's what I believe, right? So I really want to encourage people to pursue their dreams and to work towards what they really want in life, because this is how you're going to get everything in life. If you get to serve others the way that you want to be serving them, using your gift, your talents, whatever you have, is what is going to make you feel alive. I think this is something really important, Derek.
I agree. Really important and really great share. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. Jose is going to be a founding member, so he'll be back for sure. So we're really excited to have him back. We have a couple events coming up and maybe he'll be a part of those. So really excited, that you will be a part of those eventually, even if you can't make these next couple that are coming
Yes.
up. So thank you again. Any final words before we leave?
I just want to appreciate you and appreciate your community. And I want to say my last thought.
Yeah.
I love your energy,
Oh, thank you.
Derek. I can sense it over here. Seems really clear, and I really want to appreciate everything you do for the people that are in your community, and even for ourselves. They get the little space to share our story. Thank you so much, Derek.
Yeah, you're welcome, and we appreciate you, and thank you everybody for watching once again. If you want to share your gifts and you want to be spotlighted, then put interview in the comments here, and we will spotlight you. And maybe you don't have any gifts, but you're struggling and you want some extra support. This is also a good place to get that. So definitely, let us know if you want to share your story. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you at the next one.